David, what is this?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's Show and Tell. That's right, a full hour of makers from around the world coming by, showing us what they're working on at home, safely in their pajamas, whether it's 3D printing, Raspberry Pis, electronics, soldering, crafting, sewing, whatever they're working on. We want to see it, so come on by. We're here till 8 p.m.-ish. We got a whole bunch of people from Adafruit and as well as special guests. Matt from Raspberry Pi and Kevin from DigiKey are going to give us the updates from their respective corners of the world.
All right, so first up, Matt, welcome to the Show and Tell.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. We all know each other for over a decade.
Yeah.
Make Magazine to the New York scene to ITP to NYC Resistor, now Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I think we first met in 2010 or so.
That's right.
Yeah, just about a decade.
All right. Well, I know you're up to amazing things. I also want to say, please pass along our thanks to everyone at the Raspberry Pi Foundation. There's a lot of people that are home. There are a lot of people learning, and they're using Raspberry Pi. So thanks for providing those resources from the foundation, from the hardware, and then, of course, we have our friends at Hackspace. What a fantastic publication that everyone's able to read during this time.
Yeah, and Hackspace is free online to read if you're looking for a magazine to dip into, and then like all of our publications too. So yeah, a lot of people grabbing their Raspberry Pis and wiring them up and using them as general purpose computers as well, which is really exciting.
Yeah. All right. So what's the things that you want to tell everybody this week if they want to do things with Raspberry Pis and more?
Yeah, so we have a new initiative at the Raspberry Pi Foundation in response to what's going on in the world. We're calling it Digital Making at Home. You can go to rpf.io/home. The idea here is that we know that lots of young people are at home and they may not get the opportunities to code and create that they get in the school environment. So what we're doing is we're taking our content, our world-class free content, and we're packaging it up and making it more available for young people. Our educators on our team are creating code-along videos that we're posting to our website. And so if you go to rpf.io/home, you'll see that every week we pick a theme and we do a lot of code-along projects in Scratch and Python, HTML and CSS. Meant to just sort of inspire and motivate young people to create with technology while they're at home and give them some guidance along the way.
And where do folks go if they want to follow along and learn more?
rpf.io/home is the landing page for all of the resources there. And if you check every Monday, there's a new theme posted, new videos, new content every Monday.
Got it. So every single Monday, especially if you're a parent or an educator, or now a parent is an educator,
right?
You can go there every week, and that's almost like a lesson plan. It's something you do, and you don't have to think about it. You can just go there and then start following the lessons.
Right. Yeah. So in this week, the theme is about making music. And so we picked a bunch of projects that are all about having fun with making music. And we try to find those connections between the technology and what's going on in the world and maybe some interests. So, we have some cool, we have a Scratch-based project about making like a rock band kind of thing, which is good for beginners. And then for the more advanced coders, we have, this week we have projects using Sonic Pi, which is how you can use code to do, all kinds of cool stuff with music.
Okay, right on.
Sweet.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. You'll also see some posts from Matt on the Adafruit blog that'll tell you about this. So if you're someone who watches the Adafruit blog, and then also check out the resources every Monday, especially if you have some kiddos and you want some activities.
And there's so many Raspberry Pis out there. Chances are you have one at home already. You don't have to go out to the store. Just look in your box. You probably have a Raspberry Pi 1. There's millions of them were sold.
Hook it up to your TV, turn it on, and get coding.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right. Next up. Hello, Kevin. How are you? What are you doing this week? How are things in Minnesota and at DigiKey?
Things are good here in Minnesota and at DigiKey. We are still crazy shipping packages. We've been really busy. Our warehouse is busy. So thank you, everybody in the community, for all of your orders, because they sure are still coming in. And we're still getting them out. If you order by 8 p.m., it's still going out that day. We're definitely keeping UPS and FedEx busy. A couple things I've been working on. I grabbed a Clue. I've had a Clue for a little while, but I'm trying to get it to work with some of the Kitronic add-on boards, which are form factored for microbit, which obviously the Clue is the same form factor. So I plugged it in, and I got the temperature and humidity to read on here. And if I warm it up above 75 degrees, it changes to red. If I can make it.
You're alive? Yay, you're alive. Well, you got to keep breathing on it.
Yeah. It's cold down in my basement, so it's hard to get it up that warm. But
Yeah.
it's really cool to see how the Clue can work in so many different microbit form factor add-on boards. It's a lot of fun, and I'm kind of excited to try more. So that's one of the things I've been working on.
And we'll be making more Clue boards and different, we're going to have more chipsets because people really love it. And I think it's a great step up. You start with a microbit and then you're like, I want CircuitPython.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really cool. And, you guys know the team from Kitronic. They have some great add-on boards. Even their little buggy, this little buggy powered by a microbit, you could throw a Clue in there, which is my next project to try and get this working. So it's pretty cool.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, and next project I'm working on, hopefully we get back to events later in 2020. I'm going to work on making a claw machine for events that, somebody can enter a code in and, hopefully pick up a Clue.
All right,
Cool.
literally.
Put it in there and you reach in, grab it with the claw.
The Clue might slip through your claw.
Show that progress each week.
All right. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, everyone at DigiKey. Please pass on our thanks. I'll say it every single week, every opportunity. When we needed a great partner and a lot of support, DigiKey was there, and a lot of people are getting their Adafruit stuff from DigiKey. So everyone, show your love on Twitter at DigiKey. Tell them that you're getting your Adafruit stuff from them on Discord, all those places. Let them know this is working out. They were so helpful. So thank you, everyone at DigiKey, and Kevin. I know you helped out make all that happen as well.
Yeah, and thank you guys. Like I said, we can see the orders coming from Adafruit.com, so we're appreciative of all the orders that is coming our way from Adafruit and from this community. I'm sure people on Discord are getting DigiKey boxes, and we appreciate it more than you guys know.
Yeah, post up the photos of your DigiKey box. We want to try to start doing some fun unboxing around the web, so start doing that now, and we can we'll all talk later. We have ideas.
We do have some cool ideas. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great week. Stay safe.
Thanks,
you. Everybody.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Melissa. Hello, Melissa.
Hello. So I have a 3D printer that I built, and I've been putting up build videos on my YouTube channel. And I can actually go ahead and post a link to that. And so on this printer here, this is at its current state. I have an Ultistick bed on here. It has a Hemera for its hot end, and it has a lot of the original Prusa components. And I wanted to do this as a single filament printer because I already had a Prusa set up as a multi-material printer, and sometimes it can get a little unreliable. One of the cool things on here is I made a little filament holder. Here, let me show you. And it uses these angled pieces that I got from Adafruit here. And so I thought it was a really good use of those.
Nice.
It works that really well. And it's been working really well.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much,
update.
Melissa.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, we're going to go to Noam Pedro.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
Doing all right. Go to the share screen. Yes. So following up on what Kevin was saying. Yeah, so we got inspired by this microbit case here. Has a nice little slot here for the edge connector, and it has this little cool attachment here, so you can add like headers and connect to all the little connections on there. So of course, we made one for the Adafruit Clue. I didn't add the headers, but I did add the edge connector part here, so you can take that off. And it is super slim compared to the past all-in-one cases that we designed for the Clue. You can see it's like half the size. The only difference here is it doesn't have the battery in there, so you can have that on the outside. But you can still have access to the alligator clips. Those are a really good idea with the little teeth design there, so you can have enough space for that. And I expose the humidity and the temperature and the microphone on the back there. And then again, with the little built-in reset button here.
Cute.
Access to that. And of course, stemma and the USB on the side there.
Great.
So the LED.
That's a nice case.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love how small it feels in the hand. And of course, you can get it matching with if you have the green board or the black board.
Matchy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like the little Apple-style debut you did. It's like, here's a big chunky Dell, and now here's the new slim iClue.
We reduced the bezel by 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. So a guide and of course all the stat files and STLs, so you can edit this or just go ahead and print it on your own printer.
All right.
nice
Right
work.
on. And just so everybody knows, they can watch your show every single Wednesday at 11 a.m. Then you have the show and tell. And then tonight we're going to be playing some of your videos on Ask an Engineer.
Yeah, and also I gotta remember to plug that we also have a mini show and tell right after 3D Hangouts as well.
That's
So
right.
definitely check that out at 11:30.
Yeah, I think we've pivoted to, because everyone likes to say that, to not only have the longest running, most watched 3D printing show, but the only 3D printing show and tell that's out there.
Yeah, I haven't seen another one yet.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Post a link, but yeah, I think
Yeah, this is the thing.
Prove us wrong.
This is well, it's like the skateboarding culture. It's like we have a show and tell. That's our trick. Now you go do a trick, and then like, oh, that's a cool thing we did, and we're all going to just keep doing tricks together. All right, cool. Take care.
All right, thanks, man, Pedro.
All right, next up we're going to go to Aaron. Hello, Aaron. How are you?
Hey, Aaron.
I'm doing good. I have a couple of little things. I was pulled just off my 3D printer just now. They're CNM or they're sand dollars, which I'm very excited about. Anyway,
Oh wow.
we're just talking about 3D
I
printers.
thought they were real sand dollars that you just glued to a plate. I was like, well.
I found this amazing model, which was a scan on Thingiverse, and like I have a friend who's a mermaid who makes mermaid crowns for people all over the world. That's her Etsy business. So I'm teaming up with her and printing some mermaid shells to add to costumes. So the mermaids in Singapore can have 3D printed shells in their crowns. Anyway, that's not what I meant to talk about. I just thought of that because it just finished off the printer. What I've been kind of working on more lately is it's just, fighting this sort of ennui that happens when you're stuck in your house all the time. I've been hanging out with a group of knitters, and I've been wishing that I knew how to knit. But I have come up with a craft that sort of does the same thing, where it keeps your hands busy while keeping your brain sort of free. And it's just making these little crystals. I've done a couple of tutorials already on the Adafruit side. I have a crystal staff that uses this, and then there's also just a crystal gem where you put a little 3D printed base and it lights up. It's one of the Steven Universe crafts. But I've been kind of perfecting them and coming up with different shapes and sizes and colors and just different aspect ratios. It's been really fun. And then printing them out, and when I cut them out on my vinyl cutter, they just come out like this on this like flat, nice, easy to, assemble things, and then just some crazy glue, sticking them together. And I've been going a little nuts. Like there's honestly,
You never have too many crystals.
Oh wow.
Wow.
It's like you're playing a video game. It's like the Legend of Zelda.
all of them are gonna. Anyway, I'm going a little crazy. I'm having a great time doing it. It's just relaxing, and it's just sitting here and making a pretty thing. I'm thinking about maybe putting them up on my Etsy store or something, and
Yeah.
showing that to people, so that again, like looking for fun things for kids to do. It's really easy, and it's really satisfying, and it's really fun when you put lights in them. So that's kind of what I've been working on this week.
Sweet.
All right, I very much like that collection of crystals.
There's a bucket.
Take a photo of them. They look beautiful. Yeah.
Give me a happy too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
was not expecting that today.
That was great. I needed that. Thank you so much, Aaron.
You're welcome.
All right, next up, we're going to go to JP and JP Screen.
Hey, right on. So I've been working on this Teletype machine project. I'll hold it up here for a second so you can see what it is. And this was used for deaf and hard of hearing text communications. They're mostly obsolete now, although they can still be used on some networks. And the way these are used is they're acoustically coupled with a phone handset. You call someone up, and then you can type messages, and they head across the phone line acoustically, and then are re-modulated into the 5-bit signal that tells the display what to print out there. So I've got a few variations on how I can use the clue with this, and this is my latest one, which allows me to have some prepared phrases in here that I can pick among using the A button here. And then when I want to send a message, I'll just press B. And now it's sending over this little stemma speaker, and you can see me printing that out on the screen. Would you like to play a game? And so we also have, I won't demo it now, but I've just put out some videos and I have a guide that's almost ready using Bluetooth. So we can use the Bluefruit Connect app on iOS or Android, use the UART mode, type anything you want. It goes over Bluetooth to the clue, and then the same thing happens. The clue will run this Baudot code. I learned the pronunciation is Baudot.
Really? I always thought it was French.
It is, but I think just by convention, at least Americans, I talked with C. Grover, who's done a lot of stuff in RTTY and other things, and he said, yeah, it happens to be pronounced Baudot. But yeah, it is the guy that the word baud comes from. So that measurement of transmission speed is based on his name. So that is what I've got to show. And like I said, the guide will be coming out soon. And then I'm off onto some new stuff for tomorrow that I'll be cooking up overnight, and come on by my workshop show tomorrow and see what comes next.
All right, we'll be playing some previews on Ask an Engineer, a Make Code Minute, and then also every Tuesday you have a new full hour all about Make Code, so folks can.
That's right, yeah, Make Code Live. Lots of live stream.
All right, thank you so much, JP.
This is kind of when I learned like Stephen Colbert's name is actually Colbert. It's actually not, but like his character's name is Colbert.
Oh, I didn't know that. This is when I learned that right now.
Yeah, maybe he likes Baudot code. I don't know.
That's crazy.
All right, thanks, JP.
Next up, we're going to go to Paint Your Dragon. Hello, Philby. How are you?
Philby.
Great, I'm good. Hi. I have a couple DigiKey boxes arrived. They're in the other room, but you know, the 24-hour decant thing. So they're sitting over there. But I needed more clue boards. So those just arrived today, and I'll unpack them tomorrow. Also, I'm working on a project, and I have that little 3D printed case that Noe and Pedro. I needed it for my current project, which is the light painter, which I started to show a couple weeks ago, and things went kind of not well for a while, but it's back on track. Let me try sharing screen for a moment, if that's okay. How does this work? Share screen. Oh, come on, entire screen. Why won't it let me? There we go.
Yeah, I'm going to add it. Here we go.
Okay, then I go over to preview. Okay, so anyway, it always has to involve dragons, right? So early passes at this, and this probably isn't going to come through streaming very well. You'll just, MPEG artifacts. But the early passes coming out of it, it looked like crappy VIC-20 graphics. And this is all being written in CircuitPython. And I had always kind of treated Python as this thing. It's like, it's where you go to program smarter and not harder. But the trade-off is like the performance is kind of not great. And so the pictures were coming out like super pixelated. And I was disappointed and sad and had the worst imposter syndrome and couldn't get out of bed. But Scott and Jepler, thank you. They helped me through this and showed me like how to write like high performance CircuitPython stuff so that over a series of iterations, and you probably can't see the difference here, but like the dithering starts getting a lot better.
Wait, go back and forth because it's like,
you can,
that to, ooh, yeah, that's nicer. You can tell it's more gamma.
Yeah, the gamma correction, you get this dithering in the dark areas, and then a third pass, and it just kept getting better. And it's like, holy crap, you can actually do high performance stuff in CircuitPython. I just didn't know the ropes, and they were very non-judgmental and helped me through that process. So I'm very grateful for their help and for not mocking me. And maybe I'll put some of those things I learned into the guide because I think maybe it'll help.
Yeah, I think so, because one of the things that this guide was about was, we have ULab, which is like a NumPy-like library. We have the Clue, which is, has an MPU or FPU. It's a Cortex-M4. And so this was a little bit of a skateboard challenge. It was like, okay, can you do a 360 or a 720? And you're like, I've never even gotten on the skateboard. And I'm like, you know what? But let's find out, right? Yeah. Because that's just how, another thing is, as we do these sorts of projects that are a little challenging, is where we actually find bugs or weirdnesses. Like whenever I do these projects that push CircuitPython just a little bit is when I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't supposed to be happening. this should be faster. Why? And then I uncover something.
Yeah. So I learned a lot, and anyway, it worked out really good. So I will have a guide for this soon. It just got tripped up for a while because I didn't know what I was doing. Here's some other this it's a Welsh flag. It doesn't look like much is going on, but when you set the brightness down a lot, and it has to do gamma correction to get these dark shades, like that done normally would just be black. Just it has to do really fast dithering to get an image like that. And here's our public service announcement.
Yep.
Stay home, wash your hands. So anyway, that's what I've been working on, and what there will be a guide for coming along soon. Now that I've learned all this stuff.
Good work.
Yay, good work.
Thank you so much, man. All right, next up we're going to go to Brian and Brian's screen.
All right, welcome, Brian.
Hey, so that's my screen. Just come back to the camera for a second because I'm going to show something on the other camera I'll have to switch to.
Okay.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Brian. I've been doing stuff. Let me switch my cameras now. Switch cameras. Oh, there we go. And good. Perfect. So I got some coasters. You might say, who cares about coasters? But if you look closely, these coasters are also PCBs.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, right? So these are by a company called Schit, SCHIIT. It's not dirty. Don't worry about it. These are called the coaster or the Valley Mini, based off of their, I think it's the Valhalla is the one it's based off of. So I got these. Dylan actually showed them to me. And so after several DigiKey orders, making lots of use of their quick shipping because I forgot things several times, I put this together. And it's just a little headphone amp. Got your AC input over here. I think it's 16 volts AC. Then you got your signal in and your signal outs. Big old volume knob here and a little stuff there. It was really fun to put together. I don't do tons of through-hole stuff anymore. So it's super fun. These things are like microphonics machines because they're just dangling there. I
love the dangliness though. That gives it a lot of character.
Yeah, the noise floor is crazy. Like they literally ring like a bell if you touch them at all.
That's cool.
But I haven't sipped them down because I want to do some matching of the tubes. So yeah, if you let's see, I've also got a bunch of these things on my desk. Some of you may recognize them as little clicky switches for keyboards. So I'm working on a project merging those things with one of these things, which is a Neo Trellis. So hopefully, sometime before not too long, I'll have something going where I can, this is a little printout I have of it, so you can tessellate it properly. So DIY keyboards, hopefully before too long.
Yay!
All right, and did you want me to go to your screen?
Yeah, sure.
All right, what you got going on over here?
So here is, I believe this is a SAMD09. This is the processor at the center of the Neo Trellis. So this is me doing some layout. I've got the key switches in here. I had to rotate some of them for the LEDs to line up and not get over the contacts on the edge, but it's going to be pretty sweet. There's a stemma here on the back. I'm thinking about maybe adding a stemma QT. We'll see. But yeah, that's where it's going. It should be on fab in the next day or so.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
What's that?
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Sure thing. See you later.
All right. Next up, we're going to go to Colin. Colin, what you got going on this week?
Hey, so I was digging through the eBay and found something that looked really cool. So I picked it up and I took it home, and it looks like
the story. It's a cat.
No, this is just bonus. Yeah, Mitty's gonna be in the picture. All right, cat. Well, if you can look past the cat's tail, it is.
That's fine. Leave the cat's tail.
It is.
It's cute.
Don't want to see the cat's butt. Okay, fine. All right. It is a big copper. This copper face is crazy. Tube radio and intercom system. So you got all these switches for your different rooms, or you can listen in to your satellite pieces that are wall mounted in the wall. Right. And your obvious beautiful little on-off embossment there. And over here, watch it, Mitty. You can control. I love these knobs that have the the selector.
Yeah. Big light or something.
Yeah, that's what I want to say, big play, but I'm not 100%. and then it just holds up. You can let it go for the talk if it's momentary. And yeah, big control here. And I was learning a little bit more about it, and people said, like, trying to date it, they're like, well, it has a full copper face, so it's probably from the late 50s. So maybe that's a thing. Maybe there were a lot of extra copper rolling around the landscape at that point. I'm not sure.
Well, maybe because they're saying, like, we were using it during like World War II. We didn't have any for a while. Or something.
And then like people were like, woohoo, and just
then they got into it again.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with it, Colin?
Well, I cleaned up the knobs a bit and took off some of the gunk, and I turned it on, and I could hear radio just quietly. So I think I am gonna see how hard it would be to maybe get it to actually play radio. And if that seems like too much of a task, I'm gonna have to brainstorm on ways to repurpose it.
All right.
Maybe use the control panel for something else.
Yeah, it's a cool control panel.
It's a cool control panel and a cool cat.
It's a shame to waste it. Yeah. I won't waste the cat, definitely.
No, it's good. All right. Thank you so much, Colin.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we're gonna go to Liz.
Hey,
hello, Liz. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Liz.
New York strong. That's what we say now here. All right. What you got going on this week?
So this is the Bluetooth MIDI xylophone project. Noé designed up some mounts so that we have 2 bars going across for the black keys and the white keys. And so now we have polyphony.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
fun.
And this is for folks who want to build something like this. You're doing this with CircuitPython. It's Bluetooth MIDI. Is that how it's all glued?
Yeah, exactly. It's we've got a itsy bitsy blue fruit right here, going to 2 multiplexers, because eventually there's going to be 32 motors, 1 for each note. And then the multiplexers are sending out to some Darlington driver ICs. They're right here. We'll drive them. And they're the 5-volt little mini solenoids, so they're pretty easy to drive.
Yeah, and they sound great.
Yeah, the metal resonates really nicely.
Okay. All right, I love seeing this come together.
I know you play musical instruments, and now you make musical instruments. Is there a plan? What was that? Was it Pompaloose, or where it was like all the different squares, and like it was the same person, but they were playing different instruments? Are you going to make a music video at some point, or like?
I think that'd be pretty cool. I love
like robotic, more musical robots.
Yeah, because I feel like you have a full orchestra, but it's just you. So you need to like have all these robot helpers or video editing that can bring it all together.
Yes, and that was actually the inspiration behind this, to like let a xylophone go and like play along with it, because otherwise it gets pretty challenging. So
yeah, and I think for folks who they want to do robotics, but maybe they don't want to do like battle bots that like hurt things or something, or if they want to do AI but they don't want to like do AI that takes over the world and hurts things. This is a great project because robots and those types of things they can be used to make music. And those are the type of robots we usually like too. Like, art and music is always a fun thing you can do. Robotics can help with that as well.
Yes, definitely.
So, right on. Okay, well, thank you so much, Liz.
Cool.
Thanks, Liz. And then stick around. You can maybe play us out when we're done.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come back to you.
It's like 2 notes.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right, cool. Next up, we're going to go to Dan. Hello, Dan. How are you?
Hey, Dan.
Hey, how are you?
What you got this week?
Let's see. So I was going to show you my little electronics project I've been working on, and it's just a little countdown timer.
Okay.
With a little RGB LED on it. So pretty simple, but I've done a lot of projects with different Arduino dev boards over the years. There's the alarm going off, and we have a dog in the house who barks every time anything beeps. So I decided to put a light as the alarm.
Okay, good idea.
But I wanted to try a project where I was not using an Arduino dev board, but actually just using an AVR IC on its own. And so this is a really great kind of starter project for doing something like that. So this is a little ATtiny 84, I think it is, which is a lot of people use the 85, and this is only a tiny bit more, and it's got a bunch more I/O. It's got 12 I/O pins on it, and yeah, it's like $10 worth of parts, and really easy to put together over a weekend. And I also built it because I found these really cheap modules. These are like about $1 on eBay or something to get it with a built-in little driver chip on it, so you only need 2 wires to control that. So anyway, fun little project. I also built it on one of these proto boards that I got from Dr. Azzy on Timby. Oh, I dropped it. But these are a lot of fun too. That there's a lot of different sources of proto boards, but I like to buy from indie makers when I can, and it's fun having them in all these little mini sizes so that you can make things like, here's my breadboard version, and I made a little ICSP header breadboard adapter there out of one of these tiny little proto boards. So anyway, those are fun to play with too.
All right. Well, right on. Thanks for sharing it. When we're shipping stickers, just remind me, because right now we're just shipping the priority things, and we're getting back to shipping all the regular orders soon, and then very soon we'll be back to shipping stickers for anyone's on the show and tell. I can't wait to be doing that again. So thank you so much, Dan, for showing up your project this week.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dan.
Next up, we're going to go to Drew, and then we're going to go to Jim. So let's go to Drew. Hey, Drew, you're a square right now.
Want to put your
Do you
camera
want
on?
to put camera on and audio? I'll go to Jim while you're doing that, and I think I scared Drew away.
Bye, Drew.
All right. Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's that
What you got going on this
cool
week?
truck you got? It's a Jeep?
Oh, that's my old truck. I tell people that I'm going to save me up for a new one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I want to show you this.
Okay.
You can't see it very well.
Yeah, it's like a DIY phone. What's going on there?
So you can, if you want to make a call.
Okay.
Oops, it's the wrong one.
Send a text message.
That's the text. That's actually here's your calling up.
Oh, wow.
Calling screen.
Whoa.
So you made your own phone.
It has the phone numbers and everything. Does the calling. Capture your, there.
All right. So how is this powered? What's inside of it? Did you write a phone OS?
List. So you can pick a contact, and then you can pick text. And there's your text screen.
Oh, right on. It's a nice little keyboard interface.
I love the keyboard. It's so cute.
Yeah, and it's got more than that, though. It's got the calculator that I made a long time ago.
All right.
And it's got, you can put games on it. This is hard.
Yeah.
And what are those games written in? How did you make those games?
I wrote them. It's all done on Arduino. It's an Arduino.
It's an Arduino phone. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's it has a feather flora in there, a feather phona.
Oh, cool.
And it teaches you to run the UI. And then I had to write. I basically wrote a sketch swapper. So you have multiple sketches in, and you just choose which one you want to see.
Oh, neat.
Oh, cool.
You have your own little app store inside there.
Yeah, it's a multi-sketch app. OS. The hard thing is the file system, because everybody knows the smartphone is supposed to have all these neat things like contacts and everything, and it's like, oh, I have to make a database inside here to hold the contacts.
Yeah.
Because I need all this file code to do multiple files, and multiple section files. So I wrote code that would use your an SD card like a giant RAM.
That's awesome.
Communication and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Pokemon characters on there. Okay, this is so cool.
All right.
Wow, this is a great
Jim, this is a really cool project.
Amazing.
So when people say, what can this hardware do? There was the rotary cell phone that everyone shared, and this one, if you send me photos and more information, pt@adafruit.com, we would love to post about this on the blog, on the Adafruit blog as well.
Yeah, because it looks a lot better in real life.
Yeah, totally.
Take some photos, and again, when we're shipping stickers, you absolutely get a as seen on the show and tell sticker. Look great on the back of the phone. All right, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Take care.
All right. So Liz, I think Drew is not having a good camera night. So do you mind playing this out? We're going to get out of here just a little bit early tonight so we can set up for Ask an Engineer.
Absolutely.
All right. Jam.
Musical starlings.
Yay! All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Liz.
Have a good night.
All
Have a good
right.
night.
Okay, that's our show and tell, everyone. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for being here. We're here every single week, 7 p.m., every single Wednesday. We've been doing this for about a decade or more. We moved it to be 1 full hour during this time where we're all apart, but we can all come together at least once a week, show and share our projects. Everyone makes something. Everyone can share it.
Come by next week.
Come by next week, 8 p.m. tonight, Ask an Engineer, and then all the rest of the shows. Make sure you keep an eye on the Adafruit site. Every week we have unique, amazing, interesting 3D printing programming that you can watch, Make-Code programming. And when I say programming, I mean like programming like a television show programming. We have stuff for kids. We have stuff for adults. We have stuff that you can watch with kids. So check it out, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks,
Bye, everybody.
everybody.